So you see the Mariners hat, so you know that we do have some sorts of Mariners news to go over. There's some stuff that's off the field from the team itself, as well as an actual signing. So I know that, there's been clamoring. It's probably not what some people wanted, but there is some news. So before we get into it, that signing, we have some off the field stuff with a Mariners legend. Ken Griffey Jr. Has been named this year's Royal Brome Sports Legend by the Seattle Sports Commission for his excellence on the field and his commitment to the city of Seattle. So you can see in the photo, look at the two Seattle legends there. You got Griffey and Ichiro, but Griffey has been honored for his excellence on the field and commitment to the city of Seattle. As said by the Seattle Sports Commission, I believe that's at the giant dinner that they do every year for Seattle sports. That's cool to see. I'm just kind of surprised, honestly, that he hasn't won this thing before, just considering, I don't know how they run things. But there was that. And then the other piece of sort of cool off the field news is that Julio Rodriguez, we all know Julio, right? I've been joked about that. I mentioned that he's young. He's 22 now. He used to be 21. I used to mention that we were the same age all the time. He's older than me. So that's cool, I guess. He's in his hometown of Loma de Cabrera in the Dominican Republic. There was a big parade for him, and there was these big festivities to welcome him back for winning Rookie of the Year, the amazing season he's had. He's been there with his girlfriend, Jordan Haitama of our OL Reign. Something cool he did over the past week, besides the other cool things that he does, he donated an entire ambulance that was also filled with toys to his hometown. So they've got that ambulance, and he did not just the ambulance, but it was full of toys as well. So Julio giving back to his hometown, which is really cool to see. I don't know why my guy is wearing the neon pink Mariners hat they had on like that 90s night. If you like that fashion more than I do, I respect it. I don't know. We'll see.
I like
but
the
really
44
awesome
on the side of that ambulance there.
Oh yeah, you got the 44 and you say his name's on it as well. So oh God, that sounds bad. But what if you were picked up in the Julio Rodriguez ambulance? I mean, that'd be a little bit cool, right? I don't know. So we'll get to the actual moves that the Mariners have made. There was a sort of minor trade. The team traded right-handed pitcher Josef Fernandez for relief pitcher Justin Topa from the Milwaukee Brewers. So Seattle sends a prospect to the Brewers for a relief pitcher in return. He's got some good to him, and he's been not able to stay on the field. So it's another sort of relief pitcher for Pete Woodworth and the Mariners pitching staff to sort of turn into a project like they have with Paul Sewald, like they have with Casey Sadler. I don't know who Cody Sadler is. Topa is a 31-year-old. He made 7 appearances last season with Milwaukee, going 0 for 0 with his win-loss record and a 4.91 ERA. With 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. You can see obviously a limited sort of sample size there. He made 17 appearances with their AAA affiliate in Nashville, going 2-0 with a 4.34 ERA. He's got a good sinker, but a sort of mediocre slider. This is, again, another guy that's sort of supposed to be a project in the bullpen for Pete Woodworth and that staff to work with. I'm sure they see great things that they like from Topa that they'll work with, just like with a Trevor Gott that they acquired earlier in the season, but they make another trade with the Brewers after the Colton Wong deal. Hernandez, if you want to learn about the guy that the Mariners just lost, is a 22-year-old, went 9 for 5 with a 3.39 ERA with 54 walks and 143 Ks for Class A the Modesto Nuts in 2022. He was named the 2022 California League Pitcher of the Year and a California League postseason All-Star. So I'm sure that he's got a lot of positives to him, but the Mariners elected to trade him away for a guy that they want to see impact the team sort of now. So there's that news, as well as the fact that I know that a few weeks ago, you can see it down there on the header there, or I don't know if that's a header. I'm bad with the verbiage on these things. Thank you. But the Mariners had made an offer to AJ Pollock, and he was also, I believe, considering a deal from, I believe it was the Dodgers. It was official. The Mariners officially signed Pollock a few days ago to a 1-year, $7 million deal. He hits really well against left-handed pitchers. He's also got really good numbers all-time against the Houston Astros. His stats in 2022 aren't exactly spectacular for the 10-year, 35-year-old veteran. 0.4 WAR, 120 hits total, 14 homers, a 245 batting average, and a 680 OPS. So it's a solid pickup as a veteran guy who can hit against lefties, something that Seattle needed from one of their outfielders. Jared Kelenic hasn't been able to hit lefties, is the point being, and I don't believe Sam Haggerty has as well. I could be wrong. Could be the opposite way around. But another veteran presence, another veteran part to this clubhouse that's, looking to obviously make the playoffs again in 2023, and just continue to build. But obviously, there's some more bats that need to be added to this. I think you're good with bullpen help. You might get another piece here and there. Your rotation's probably fine, but I'd still look for another bat. Who's going to fill out that DH role? Unless you're looking somewhere internally. There's still moves to be made for the Mariners here, but I'm happy with the Pollock news. And obviously with Houston still adding players to their clubhouse, you got to be able to somewhat keep pace or find ways to close the gap. So who knows? I mean, we really don't know if Jerry Dipoto and Justin Hollander are cooking up some sort of trade, which, they've done, and it's just come out of nowhere like that. So many times it's happened during our recording sessions. But I'm happy with this move, just considering, the veteran aspect to it and being able to hit against lefties there. To that note, we continue with someone who some fans wanted to see. I added in our notes that, yes, still this Correa saga continues. Some people, we ran a poll on Twitter to see if Mariners fans wanted to see him on a shorter deal, all things considered, and they voted no, about 70 to 30, which is kind of interesting. So Carlos Correa's saga continues. On the 3rd of January, Correa's deal will reportedly be different than what it originally was. The Mets contract is expected to be dramatically different if he does, in fact, sign with New York. On the 5th, his camp is talking to another team, so they're getting dirty here. At least one other team was in contact with the free agents camp as negotiations with the Mets have become sticky. The Twins have reportedly contracted his camp, and the Mets are frustrated with Correa, as reported on the 6th, as there's still a strong chance that a deal gets done, but New York is seriously questioning continuing talks. So interesting things going on for Carlos Correa, the former Twin and Astro, as he tries to navigate, the two failed physicals with the Giants and now the Mets. Who knows where he ends up ultimately? I'm sure some team will take the bait and cast their net out for him. But that's it for Mariners related news.